Good evening, everyone, and happy October, start of fall. I hope that you all are enjoying the end of summer and start of fall. The weather's changing, and for those of us that really like the holidays and Halloween, going into Thanksgiving and Christmas or whatever holidays that we celebrate, I hope you're taking the time to enjoy those and get out of school and work a little bit and make sure that you're enjoying the lovely weather and also this time of season, which is great. I am in my car this evening. I am waiting to pick somebody up at the airport, so nothing like making a class video while waiting patiently on planes to fly in and for folks to get off the plane, and using that time to sit here with my fellow commuters while we wait on the airport lines to empty out a little bit. So Play 6 this week has a lot to do with sponsorships and keeping those people that are writing your checks for your events, your sponsors, incredibly happy. I got some stories to tell about some sponsors that I've worked with in the past that are just absolute doozies. There is some mention in this chapter about business to business sponsorships and co-ops, but we're going to deal mainly with sponsors of underwriting or giving you money or time or volunteers or supplies in order to run your event. But we'll get into more on that in just a second. We do have a couple of housekeeping items that we have to get into. Right now we are on week 6 or play 6. We'll have, of course, week 7. And then week 8 is going to be a big week. Week number 8, you will have play number 8 to complete, plus your midterm exam, which is a multiple choice true-false midterm style exam. It will be online. Now, before we hit the panic button, just realize that week 8, which is October 14th through the 20th, your quiz for that chapter will be nothing more than an acknowledgement quiz. So it is a free 10 points, just saying that you took the midterm exam. There won't be a lecture video or any extra activities that week, just the regular coursework and then the midterm exam. But please make sure that you're budgeting your time. I want to make sure that everybody is aware that there is a midterm exam week 8, October 14th through the 20th. Unfortunately, there will not be any extensions for this exam. If there is a missed exam, there will be makeup opportunities with a penalty, but it will be a written exam, and that is to maintain the academic integrity of the course. So just please make sure, like I said, you are budgeting that time, and we will get through these next couple of weeks and be over halfway done with the course. Also, after week 8 in the midterm, once those are all graded and everything is up to date, I will open up the final, which in this course is not an exam, it is a project, but I want to give you more than enough time to work on your final project so you can read the synopsis, the requirements for the project, and that way you can ask any questions. So housekeeping items for this week: regular coursework this week for play 6, regular coursework for play 7, and then week 8 or play 8 we will have not only our coursework to do, but also the midterm exam. So please reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything with that. So play 6 and sponsors. When you are asking for time, money, donations, materials, anything like that to offset some of the cost of your event, you are creating an obligation to sponsors. A lot of sponsors do help with events in good faith, but overall, in a capitalistic society, generally sponsors want something in return, whether it's advertisement, promotion, good press, things of that nature. So it can be a very tricky business. A lot of sponsors will have demands, especially when you're talking about these larger events. When you are writing a $25 million check to name a stadium or an arena after a certain brand or product, you want some conditions to come along with those sponsors. One of the questions in your homework this week has to do with sponsors for different charity events. I believe there is a women, children, and orphans scenario in question number 1. So what kind of sponsors would be attracted to that situation? Would Jack Daniels, which is a great product, would that be the best sponsor of a women's and orphans event? That's for you to decide. There's no right or wrong answer, but the question does ask what type of companies would best suit that event. Also, question 3 in this homework is a very interesting question, and I don't want you to overthink it, but it asks for a business-to-business relationship. Somebody's basically undercutting an already presenting sponsor, not offering as much or bringing as much to the table. And as the event organizer, You have to walk that line and decide what they are bringing to the table. Does it add more value or subtract more value? Again, you can say that the answer is no to question 3 this week and simply walk away, but you have to tell me why. You have to tell me the reasoning for your justification. Again, it's perfectly fine to say no to someone who's trying to undercut or sponsor an event. Happens all the time, but you got to tell me why it doesn't make sense. And again, we get into some hypotheticals there, but the question does provide some context in saying that they're not offering as much money or as much value to the presenting sponsor. So I did promise a quick story. Last year, your professor was consulted to work on an event in Orlando, Florida. It was the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard at Bay Hill. If you've ever been to Orlando, Bay Hill is one of the probably the most exclusive golf courses outside of Disney property. Now, I'm not a golf guy, not really big into golf, but it is a staple in the Central Florida community. And notice I said the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. MasterCard dropped millions in sponsorship for this event, not only in cash, but in prizes, free airtime and supplies and things like that. But they were very, very big sticklers, and it was in their contract that anytime the presenting event was on TV, social media, anytime it was talked about, even on the radio, it had to be the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. And they got very, very upset when the presented by MasterCard was not mentioned. There was even a rider in their contract that there would be fines when it was not mentioned. Now, to my knowledge, and I'm not purview to all the information, that didn't happen, but that's how seriously they took sponsorship of this event. And it was a win-win for both, because not only did the sponsor get huge exposure to the clientele that they were seeking in this golf tournament, but the tournament itself got its prize money underwritten. It got booths and supplies and hospitality tents and ticket sponsorships, all of those things taken care of by basically one large company that wasn't really in the golf game. It's not really a golf sponsor, but MasterCard's one of the most recognizable brands in the United States and around the world. So again, I was consulting for that event, but I just saw how seriously the presenting sponsor took their event presented by MasterCard had to be included in literally everything we said. So, keep that in mind when we're talking about smaller events, even as such a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout troop asking a local business to sponsor their, baseball or soccer tournament, all the way up to presenting sponsors for the Olympics, for the Super Bowl, for the World Series, all of those things. Sponsorships is a very, very exciting world to be in, but also it's a lot of work asking companies or individuals to write checks to make sure that your event is a success. So please reach out this week if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Like I said, Play 6 and 7 are two very good modules that will help towards your final project. And then week 8, we will get ready for our coursework and midterm exam. So hope everybody's having a great day, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you so much.